So what has Ryan Garcia been up to after his big win against Devin Haney? Well, by the looks of it, he's been up to his nuts and guts. Sorry. No, there's multiple women, basically. It's all happening for him right now. He's in rare form. Last week, he got engaged to Savannah Bond. So she's a corn star. He got engaged to her like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, after the fight, he's been pictured with a different woman. Her name is Grace Boer, who looks a lovely young lady. Judging by these pictures of Grace, I think he's made the right decision. Definitely a level up, this one. After the win, then get the woman. And while Ryan's been enjoying himself, Devin Haney has took the time to ask for a rematch. Ryan, despite the circumstances, was victorious that night, and that's fine. He's taken it well. Glad he's okay with it. I do feel like weight played a role in it, but only Allah knows. I would love to run it back and give the fans a, and block capitals, fair fight within an agreed weight limit. So he's making excuses, essentially. He's blaming it on the weight. He's saying Ryan had an unfair advantage and therefore that's why he won the fight. Now, the ironic thing is that Devin Haney could have ensured that Ryan Garcia adhered to a rehydration clause after he missed weight so that he could only rehydrate up to a certain number, therefore they would both be at the exact same weight come the fight. The reason they didn't do this is that historically, Devin Haney also ballooned up in weight and didn't want to restrict himself from the ability to do that. So there is every chance that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney weighed a similar weight when they got into the ring. And actually, Devin Haney himself has always been the bigger man in many of his fights, but it didn't matter when he benefited from it. And I accept that he had to dry himself out to a point that Ryan Garcia didn't, and that there may have been a very slight advantage in that Ryan didn't have to quite brutalize himself to the way Haney did. And if this was a really close fight, I think that data would actually be something worth paying attention to. But the problem is it wasn't close. You got battered. You got dropped 3 times at least, and it probably should have been more if we're actually counting every single time you hit the deck. This was against the Ryan Garcia, by his own admission, didn't live the best lifestyle, did party, did drink, did smoke on the run-up, and still kicked the shit out of you. So I appreciate he needs an angle for a rematch. You need an excuse, you need a reason, you want the payday. Absolutely fine. And if he really believes that he can beat Ryan Garcia, then good luck to him. But given all the data we have, I don't think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney being 3 pounds apart on the scales would have changed the outcome if they were exactly the same. But let's see what Ryan made of the fight.
Gervonta, I didn't really... It wasn't a hard fight. I was just weak. That's not a hard fight for me. I will beat Gervonta Davis worse than I beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a harder fight than Gervonta.
I mean, I just flat out don't agree. Tang, while Ryan was extremely drained in that fight, beyond belief, he's way smarter, hits harder, he is a harder fight in every way. And that last fight proved it. That being said, I do think that the weight training played a point.
You guys could pull up the picture of me, how I look for a Tank fight and how I look for Devin Haney fight. They knew what they were doing, and he will never fight me at 145. So
I must admit, that really does leave a sour taste in my mouth about Gervonta Davis. Like, you beat Ryan Garcia, but you did not beat him at his best. And even the most diehard Tank Davis fan, deep down, as delusional as you want to be, knows, yeah, you beat Ryan Garcia. You didn't beat the best Ryan Garcia. Therefore, there is a black mark on that win. Ryan Garcia would have been about 160 pounds when he was in there against Devin Haney. He was about 17 pounds lighter than that against Tank Davis. And when you're around that weight, that is a massive percentage of your body weight to drain. It's not like 3 pounds here or there between Ryan and Devin. It's a massive amount of weight. And that doesn't mean I think Ryan's going to beat Tank at his healthiest weight, but would it give him a better chance? You're fucking right it would, especially when he hits that hard.
You think Tank wants clout?
No, I think he wanted clout at that moment because it was just such a big moment. And I think he doesn't like Devin Haney either.
You know what? When a fighter like Tank Davis piggybacks off of Ryan Garcia's win against Devin Haney and acts like, oh, well, I would beat you because you've just been beaten by this guy. As true as that might be, it's Ryan Garcia's win, not yours. I don't like when fighters do that. Boxing maths don't always work. Just because you beat this fighter doesn't mean that you can beat all the fighters he beat. It was like when Tyson Fury used to gloat because Anthony Joshua took a loss against Andy Ruiz, as if that automatically meant that he could beat AJ. It doesn't prove anything until you get in the ring and do it yourself, mate. It's just not a good look, man.
No, I mean, like the rematch, because the belt was on the line. So
3 pounds.
So Ryan, and I'm happy you went back to that. So Ryan, you lost the.
Fuck me, this guy is not great at talking for a podcaster. Jesus. Today, Junior.
You know, that's gonna make it look worse. I'm drinking a beer on the scales,
dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Here's what I don't understand. Why are you telling everyone that it wasn't a beer? If you wanted to look gangster, don't tell them.
And then I would escape at 3 a.m. and just be at dinner and just chilling. It was like 2 days before the fight, day before the fight. I'm just like, they're looking for me and I'm in dinner, my phone's off and I'm just vibing.
This is what I'm on about Ryan. Yeah, he may not be quite as crazy as what he made out, but he's still a wild man. And despite chaos that he puts into his life, he's very high functioning. So like where other fighters couldn't just get in the ring and put on that kind of a performance without staying as dedicated as you're supposed to, he managed it. But you can only do that a little while. At 25, it's cool. At 35, it's a major problem. And you won't make it at 35 as the best version of you if you keep living a shit life.
You almost have to have the rematch again.
No,
so let's run it back.
No.
Because you said it.
I did, but it ain't no rematch. This dude got clowned up. I barely tried, bro. I was drinking every day.
See, this is the thing. I do believe this in terms of like he wasn't living the healthiest life on the run up to this fight. And if you can do that and still batter this guy, then what is the point in a rematch?
On Monday, I was at Tao nightclub. Tuesdays, I was at Little Sister. Wednesdays, I went out. Thursday, I went out. Friday, I was drinking. I was doing whatever I want.
Look, he may be embellishing, but imagine being Devin Haney listening to this, knowing that Devin Haney in boxing is as dedicated and as regimented as it gets. He lives the most cleanest life a boxer should. And then this guy just destroyed you while partying. What's the point in a rematch? I think Devin needs to go away and take some easier fights, learn from his mistakes, grow as a fighter, get his confidence up. If they put him, and Bill Haney as his own dad, puts him back in a ring with Ryan Garcia after he's just been destroyed like that, Ryan's confidence is going to be on 100. He's going to know now, when I touch you, you can't take it, and he's going to get him out of there even quicker. It'll be like when Zhang rematched Joe Joyce. People, we'll give him another. No, he just battered him even quicker the second time. That's exactly what will happen this time. It'll be worse, especially with a different referee, because fuck me, that guy was ready to take a bullet for Devin Haney. We should hire him to protect the president. Although, to be fair, I think Biden's biggest threat is Alzheimer's at this point.
I want to fight Tank, but Tank's not going to fight me.
You don't think he's going to fight you?
100%.
Why not?
Why is that?
He won't go to 145.
That's just not a good look for Tank. And John Jones did this against Daniel Cormier years ago. He wouldn't fight Daniel Cormier at heavyweight because that was where Cormier was at his best. So he made him go to light heavyweight. And it always makes me think, like, you're supposed to be the toughest, baddest motherfuckers on the planet, and yet you play in these silly little games. It just makes you look scared. So this is the Ryan Garcia that fought Haney, and then the Ryan Garcia that fought Tank. And it's like not even recognizable. Ryan looks anorexic against Tank. So maybe that's the reason Tank's like, no fucking way am I fighting you at your full weight. But as fans, we want to admire these boxing champions, and the reason we admire them is because they come across as brave. But draining your opponent down, that's not admirable. That's not brave. And I love watching Tank Davis fight, but that's just not something I can respect.
If he wants to make a lot of money, we could do it. If not, I don't need him. I'm making a lot of money regardless. I could retire tomorrow.
And that's the thing for Tank. There ain't a lot of money fights for him, because the mistake people made when Ryan and Tank drew all those numbers, Tank Davis face of boxing. No, he's not. It was Ryan who pulled the majority of those viewers. It's Ryan who made this show what it was. It wasn't Devin either. Ryan's the fucking face of boxing. Just because Tank won, that doesn't matter. Floyd Mayweather beat Conor McGregor. No one gives a fuck about watching Floyd Mayweather right now. Conor McGregor's comeback fight will do 1 million buys. It's not all about who wins, man.
So he pretty much handicapped me to basically be dehydrated in the ring.
So meaning 136, you hit the weight, you cannot go to 146. Who else that fought in the past puts that in the puts that clause in there?
Only pussies. I would never do that to nobody. I don't know. There's a lot of pussies out there. Not me.
I'm glad that's his attitude, because when you're in there, if your opponent is weight trained to fuck and you land a decent shot on them, their ability to withstand those punches is significantly diminished. And as much as I'm slightly disappointed in Ryan's missing of weight against Devin Haney, their weights are so close that I don't think it made as much of a difference. But when Ryan was in there with Tank, I do think it made a significant difference. And I still stand by the fact that Tank probably outboxes Ryan in any way, but it's his inability to get in the ring with Ryan at a fair weight that makes me think, well, where's your confidence gone? You beat him last time. Why not go and run it back and do it again and make a load more money? Why do you not want to do that instead of having irrelevant fights against people we've never fucking heard of? Tank Davis's legacy is going to be bullshit when it's over, because he's just not got enough names in there. And he might not give a shit about that, but he should. Now, since the fight, Oscar De La Hoya has been going at Eddie Hearn now. He feels like because his boy won, he's got the juice now. Eddie had put out a picture of him hugging Devin Haney, saying, "The road is long. This young man will be back stronger than ever." Oscar replied, "You obviously never laced up the gloves," something that Oscar throws in Eddie's face on a daily basis, just like Don King and the rest. He's comparing Eddie to one of the most corrupt promoters ever. Like, Eddie is not that guy. Eddie's a great promoter for his fighters, in my opinion. You don't know what it's like to fight inside the ring. Guess what? I do. And that beating will last for a while. I do agree with that, by the way. I think Devin's got a lot to overcome mentally here in order for him to ever look back to his best again. But I did love Eddie's response. He said, "Genuinely, are you okay?" You stalked me like a crazed fan. You had a great win on Saturday, yet I consume your mind 24/7. Unfortunately for you, I'm a global promoter with 18 world champions. You've got 4. Love how petty that is. I have big plans to work with everyone to grow the sport globally and have some fantastic talent in the US market. I genuinely wish you all the best and hopefully you can enjoy what you do. I think that this is just a classic case of Oscar feeling insecure, feeling a bit jealous of Eddie's power and success in the sport. Oscar's been in the sport as a fighter, now as a promoter, and he's done really well. I don't like it when people just can't be happy for other people and let other people's success consume them. Jealousy, it's a bitch emotion, and Oscar needs to get over this and have some fucking therapy. And we've also seen some other chickens come home to roost. There's obviously Bill Haney had been comparing his son Devin to Floyd Mayweather, saying this is a new era, kind of putting Devin across as the new Floyd Mayweather, but better because Floyd was this, Floyd was that, and Devin's not. Well, Floyd Mayweather decided after the fight that he was going to rub Bill's face right in it.
I've been reaching out to you to let you know I ain't never had nothing against you. When did me and you go wrong? When
Floyd has picked this moment when Devin's lost to be like, we had a problem, right? Should we talk about it now? Because
I don't know. I don't know how much do we have a beef.
Okay, they play around with each other for a bit, then they get into it.
I'm just asking a question.
You know, Floyd is the biggest piece of shit in boxing, but I'm fucking here for it today. Like, it's so funny seeing him glow like this.
I've been knowing you for hella long, but I feel like you're a bullshit ass nigga. You see what I'm saying? Okay. That's how I feel like it, me, myself.
I mean, Bill's not mincing his words, is he?
Pop it 1,000 times. Nigga, you was talking about that sparring shit. Nigga, you beat niggas up in sparring. I didn't watch you beat niggas up. And when my son got down on you, you dig what I'm saying? You act like, you tell us, Bill, no, you tell us, no, you tell us.
So Bill's saying Devin beat up Floyd in sparring. That's where the issue is.
Bill, if your son is undefeated in the gym, congratulations.
Floyd's got him there, like. But Floyd was always going to get him. That's why he's made the call, because he's like, now's the day to go after you.
Yes. What's my record under the light?
Oh, God. Bill's asked for this, right? I have to say, he's really earned this, because he's been acting like a prick for a while. His kid was looking fantastic and still could have a very good career, but he was talking about him before the legacy was even paved. You shouldn't be putting that kind of pressure on your boy when he's not had anywhere near the career of Floyd yet, and he's piled the pressure on. When you do that, like a John Fury, people are ready and waiting to fucking laugh in your face when it goes wrong. And no one wanted that more than Floyd by the looks of it.
But listen, what's your record in life, nigga?
No.
Yeah,
nigga. Down to it.
Yeah, what's my record?
What is my record?
Okay, we get the point. And one of the reasons Bill Haney might have a bit of unresolved beef with Floyd is that Devin Haney clearly idolized Floyd more than his dad. And he said it himself.
My brother fell to the streets. My pops was in the streets, and I wanted to like break the cycle. I wanted to do something different. And it wasn't like they just was like some like ordinary regular Joe Blows. They was big in the streets. They was, you know what I'm saying? Like most kids to see them and be like, oh yeah, like that's what I want to do. But I was like, nah. I was living in Vegas, and I would watch Floyd. I'd be like, I would see him. He'd come in with Bugattis, cars, women, money, all that shit, and I'd be like, damn, like that's what I want to be. Like I want to be him. Like I see my pops, I'm like, oh yeah, he ain't doing nothing once I seen Floyd.
He ain't doing nothing once I seen Floyd. If you're Bill Haney and you hear that, that can't be nice, right? Like Bill Haney's literally built his own son up into the boxer that he is from everything we've seen. And maybe that's where a little bit of that resentment comes from, because I'm sure his dad knows Devin well enough to know that what he's just said there, he would have known that as soon as it was the case. What I will say is I'm glad Devin did that. Like, and I wish more young men would be, instead of trying to be tough guys in the street, doing boxing, making a better life for themselves. So, like, credit to Devin for doing that. But maybe this is where that beef started. Because the Haneys have been in that Mayweather gym for time. So this isn't new. And who's a good friend of Floyd Mayweather? Ryan Garcia. And he then, after this all kicks off, puts a tweet out saying, Floyd told me to come in 3 pounds overweight. Just to stir that shit. No one does it better than Ryan right now. He is killing it. He literally posts a picture Floyd and him on a FaceTime video holding up the number 3. Masterclass, he tweets. And I was wondering, with all of the play acting from Ryan on the run up to the fight, now that we know a lot of it was acting, how much that impacted Devin Haney, but also Devin Haney's team. And one of them, the corner man, has actually spoken out. So this is Rodney Chrysler, and he went to Ryan Garcia's locker room to oversee when they wrap his hands.
Ryan was relaxed, had a four-band violinist in his room.
Were you the one that was watching the raps?
Yes, I went and watched the rap. He had a violinist right there, and his karma was just cool. When I saw that, I was like, shit. And I told the team, hey man, this guy, he in there listening to violin music, getting his aura right, all that right there, that means a lot, A lot of fighters, they want to get hyped, listen to rap music, this and that, but I'm watching the top thing, what he was doing. I mean, and then when he wasn't listening to the violinist, he was listening to, church probs and all that other stuff. And I mean, he really had his zen right going into this fight. It was a big problem, but it was too late. We signed on the dotted line, so we had to go through with it.
Fucking mad that, like, this man walked out of that room being like, oh shit, that's not a crazy person, that's someone who is cool and calm and ready for war, and we didn't think he'd be ready for war like this. And Ryan's also spoken about how much of this was actually trolling.
I mean, my cameraman Chance, Ajay's there. Hey, we have it pre-recorded months ago. What did I say was gonna happen? I said, I'm about to make sure everybody thinks I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Wow, it's just going to be called The Great Escape. Like, I have it all documented. I was already planning it, weeks and weeks and months behind.
I don't think this is the great master plan he makes it out to be. I think some of it was real. Some of the shit he was coming out with was real. Like, all of this about Bohemian Grove and all of that. Like, he was on Twitter Spaces for hours banging on about that. I don't think that was part of some master plan to convince the world. But I think it was quite convenient for him to work little things in and have a bit of fun with it along the way as well, to play into what people were already suspecting. And I think now he's looking back at it and he's sort of reverse engineering. Oh, I fooled you all. But, like, did you really? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I think partly yes, partly you're actually a bit batshit in reality. But I like that about Ryan. Like, I like him as a character. He's fucking funny, weird, crazy, and he makes life more entertaining than boxing.
Yeah, I'll go on.
Your mannerisms, you were just like
spaces. I'll do this with my nose. Like, it's just a tick. I had everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy that one. Like, he was screaming into cameras and the nose was twitching involuntarily. Like, it didn't look like he was putting that on. It looked like a come down, but we'll go with it.
It wasn't so much like my ideas, like more just wisdom coming from God, and then I just made adjustments as I went.
He made it up as he went along. I'm sorry. This wasn't a great master plan. Like, it was a bit of fun that he got carried away with, and it worked out well in the end. And then if you're going to rewrite history as a fighter and be like, it was a great master plan, work the charm on Devin Haney, maybe, yeah, go with it.
And Ryan Garcia addresses prediction of Baltimore Bridge collapsing.
He took credit for predicting the collapse of the Baltimore Bridge, which he didn't predict, by the way. But, like, when he says the Holy Spirit was just telling me to do this stuff, I'm not really sure how that relates to the bridge collapse. Just to be clear, people died in that bridge collapse. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not really something we should be being like, yeah, called it. So put your money on me next time.
So Bohemian Grove, you said you have a video that you saw.
Well, there's actually many stories on it, and there's actually a lot of people that have come forward to me, and there's actually really people in the front lines of all this. I'm in contact with them.
See, this is what I'm on about, right? When he goes, fooled you all, it was all a big ruse, you fell for it. And then when we're asking him about Bohemian Grove, about how he's talking about how there's all these footage of these kids being sacrificed or whatever he was saying. And then he's like, yeah, I'm in contact with them. This is after he's saying it was all a big hoax. So when people say, we all bought it, we all fell for it. No, he's still saying this stuff, and some of it he still really believes and means. Do you know what I mean? So, like, when when we're saying how much of it was real and fake, no, some of it was definitely really his opinion. When he's saying I've faked a mental breakdown in order to get everyone to believe that I was losing my mind, I mean, we probably would have bought the pay-per-view anyway, but it was entertaining, I'm not going to lie, but there is a line, and I do think like simulating a mental breakdown in a world where people have a stigma about mental health, and some people are just using mental health to get sympathy for clicks and whatever, and I am sick of that. So he does kind of shine a light on how ridiculous sometimes it is in the spotlight, but equally, is it something to be having fun with and taking the piss out of? I'm not trying to be one of those woke fuckers who thinks this guy should be cancelled for anything, but I don't know it's the best decision to make. That being said, if he can genuinely help kids and shine a light on some of this dark trafficking shit that's going on out there, then great. Every time he's asked about it, it's very vague and smoke and mirrors and whatever. So like, it's a very serious subject, and I think you should start speaking seriously about it, or not at all. If you've got anything real, say it then. Put it out there. Help save people. If not, it just comes across as words that really are going nowhere and doing nothing.
I'm very spiritually gifted, so I could see things before they happen because of God.
Do you know what? He says this, right? And I'm not saying he's right or whatever, but before the fight, he said something like, I'm going to really hurt Devin Haney a few times, maybe 3 times, I think he said. And then at the end, I'm going to be like talking to Bill Haney and saying, like, stop the fight or whatever. It was something along those lines. And then in reality, that's kind of exactly what the fuck happened. So who knows? Maybe Ryan is gifted from God. So that was the aftermath of the Ryan Garcia fight. Don't forget, if you haven't already, like the video and let me know in the comments, who should Ryan Garcia fight next now that he is the money man in boxing? If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.